Hello, and welcome to another Toonkind at 12 frames per second. I'm JayJay. I'm one of the players today. I'll start off by saying that the predicted angst for this one is mild and has the ability to get higher depending on how much yelling happens, and also that this takes place immediately after the events of the FPS A Planet Unaligned. So I would possibly maybe, suggest listening to that one first before coming here. Might enlighten you a little bit as to what's about to happen. Um, I think that's everything. I'm playing Wes today, and will the other two cohorts in this voice chat with me introduce yourselves and your characters?
Cohorts.
Voice chat. I like the voice chat.
Shut
Hello.
the hell up.
No, it's the voice chat now. Hi, I'm Dew. I'm gonna be playing Lao Vis-Blind. Uh, Probably a few days after uh, the Two Truths and a Lie game I ran. So he's exhausted. He's tired. I'm also a little bit tired. I don't know if you could tell. So this is gonna be fun.
What is it?
But I'm
Method
also gonna
acting.
be
Yeah, I was gonna say about that acting.
and I'm also gonna be playing Soul because, of course, who else? I got nothing else. I pointed at the other person.
Okay. Hello. I'm Wick. I'm gonna be playing as Austin Teishus, who's just minding his own business until
Not for long.
until now.
So remember, like a minute ago when I told you to go listen to the other FPS? Glad you went and did that. I don't know. Anyway, the point is that at the end of that FPS, Wes told Lao that he wasn't going to tell him anything until that weird guy in a top hat who yelled at him for some stuff was also here. So he only had to tell this story once. And Lao sent off our very good sunflower horse to go get said fashion disaster. So let's start off with Austin. Where are you? Let's start with that.
Where are you? All right, sorry. Uh, uh, I guess to make things relatively simple, he's probably uh, actually I don't actually I gotta ask where's oh yeah Drew's doing some shit.
Drew is at the farm? Question mark. I don't know. I didn't think that far ahead. We're going
I
to
didn't either.
assume that because it's still like midday? Question mark. So Drew is probably at work.
All right, cool. Because I was gonna say Austin's probably at the apartment just to make things simple.
That
He's
works.
just he's just chilling. He's having a nice cup of tea. He's just kind of idly flipping through the channels on the TV.
Yep.
Uh, Everything is nice. Everything is calm. Uh,
Not for long. Please
Not
roll a
for
deck
long.
save.
Okay. What is your deck save, buddy? Oh, okay. No, you fell off of my book.
How dare you call Drew a responsible adult?
I
That
mean,
dumbass doesn't have any brain cells in their stupid metal head.
compared to the other two, by comparison, well,
Holy
damn.
Okay, so that's a 21. How do you want this to go down? Because in my head, Austin was gonna eat shit, but that's not
It's,
happening.
I could
No.
suggest something, but it would be very chaotic.
That is
And
up
I
to
don't know
the
how
two
much
of you.
property damage you want.
I mean, Drew will find the money to pay for it somehow. When they find out that Soul blew up the apartment.
It's fine. I'm pretty sure there's a soul clause
It'll be
under the.
fixed on the next episode. It's fine.
So may I suggest he's just calmly sipping some tea, looking through the channels. And so basically the space in between, so like where the coffee table would be, Soul just crashes through the freaking window and like skids through. He finishes sipping and he's just like, huh?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
What do you think? We could also do something else, but
Nah,
I couldn't
Soul
help but think
crashing
about it.
through. Soul has experience crashing through windows, you know. They did that in the very first FPS.
Oh.
Yeah. No, they're gonna smash through your window, irregardless of public property. They give no damns. They don't know what that is. And they're gonna skid across the floor. And then they're gonna turn around, look at the mess they've left behind, and then look at Austin.
And
And
hi.
then they're gonna very slowly trot over.
So,
And then
it's nice to see you.
Soul nods their head up and down. And then they lift up one of their front legs. And Austin, you're going to see it slowly move towards the back of your neck. And then you're going to see, oh no, you're going to feel two something reach down the back of your neck under your collar and just slowly lift you up.
Going up.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine he's still holding like a saucer and a cup of tea.
Yeah, he is.
So as Soul just lifts him up by his collar and slowly places him on their back, and then making sure that he's like seated nice and properly.
He dumps the teacup and saucer in his hat. I guess I'll get back to that.
You feel Soul wiggle underneath you. Do you want to roll a strength save?
Cool. Strength. Your strength save is not as good. That is okay.
I mean, you've probably been nabbed by this haunts enough times. Yeah. You hear like the vroom, vroom noise of a revving motorcycle, which gives you just enough time to clench your thighs together.
Here we go.
Before you go. By the way, Soul's not going out the way they came. They're crashing through the front door.
Uh-oh. Wait, hold on.
So, yeah, no,
Comically crashed
waiting,
the front door.
Yep. You have two holes in your apartment. One is a door and one is a window. And there's nobody home.
Faces the camera directly. You know, one of those days where you're like, oh, this might as well just happen.
And as you say that, Soul's just going to jump, probably jump off of something. I don't know what floor they live on, but they're going to jump off and out and make their way back. Make their way back to the apartment.
Yeah. So I will say that you make it back to the apartment reasonably unscathed, except for the fact that the apartment has two nice holes in it, and the flat is reasonably fine. But otherwise, you make it to the Lao's flat, no problem. How does Soul get in? I don't.
That's a good question. I'm going to roll a d2. There are two ways they can do this. Okay.
How we're here.
So bobs their head up and down, and they go through the front doors. And Austin, you see a big open lobby area. There's directly opposite you. There's a set of elevator doors. Seems to be dented in places. There's a dark corridor down to the right. And there's some stairs to the left, and Soul's just gonna clop up the stairs with you.
Well, I didn't miss these ones.
But yeah,
what did Lao miss us?
Yeah, they just take you to the front door. The other option was they took you up the side of the building.
He's used to that too. It's okay.
Don't even worry about it. I am worried about it.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay. Yeah. Austin, you recognise the way to Lao's door. Where else would Sol be taking you? And you see that as Sol approaches the door, they kind of press, smoosh their face against it a little bit, and it just creaks open. And they wiggle their way through with you on their back. I imagine you will have to duck your head.
Whoa.
But yeah, the Haunts is home. Therefore,
Hello, anyone home?
If I am free to take the reins for a second,
absolutely.
Soul brings you into the flat, and you've been here before multiple times. They take you into. They were in the living room before, right? Because Lau's laying on the couch. Yeah.
Lao cannot move at the minute.
He's exhausted. So
He has 4 whole levels.
Yeah. But so the Haunts brings you into the living room, and you can very clearly see Lao laying on the couch with his 4 levels of exhaustion. And there's somebody else here too, who is sitting on one of the nearby chairs, uh, awkwardly.
As soon as they enter,
No, not Shia LaBeouf.
that's never not gonna be funny to me.
It's not Shia LaBeouf.
Thankfully. But Austin's gonna spot Lau and go, "Oh, hey you," and then looks over at Wes. Hey you, and then does a double take. Well, this is interesting. Did you know about this? Talking to Soul.
Soul just kind of slowly stretches out their back legs and their front legs. You see like an elongating doom noise they do until their belly touches the floor. Their roots are spread out very far, and you can hop off their back now. They are still wiggling.
Okay. He clambers off Soul's back, and he is here now.
Wes will give like a very like hesitant wave.
And Austin just kind of looks them up and down a little, and then turns to Lau. So, how did you two? You wanna fill me in?
Lao's just gonna blink very slowly at Austin. Looks over at Soul. Well, we met how I seem to be meeting most people these days. As for why you're here, it's, well, apparently there's something they need to have explained, and they won't do so unless you're present.
Huh. Very slowly turns his head to Wes. This is about Drew, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right. So you're finally ready to fess up. I mean, not like. Oh, gee.
I only
He kind of
need
just.
to have to tell this story once.
Oh, so you. All right. He kind of. He kind of pinches the bridge of his nose, like, okay. And then. Did any want tea? Or is that. Maybe not. He's thinking about the teapot and goes,
Too
maybe that's the
soon.
wrong thing to say.
Too soon. I mean, it's not, but it is. I mean, I think Lao wanted Soul to go make tea, and I brought them both a cup of dirt, and then got sad when neither of them drank it.
Yeah. That's probably going to be something you notice.
Yeah, there's
Considering
two
there's
cups of.
2 cups
There are in
of dirt.
fact 2 cups of dirt sitting on the coffee table.
Oh, did you guys already make some? Oh, is he squints. It, is that dirt?
It's a
So,
soul specialty.
Oh,
At this, you're going to hear a thump, 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 thump of a tail on the floor from where Soul has been kind of spread out like a cat loaf. They just kind of slowly perk up and look at you now, Austin. Then look at the cups, then look at you.
you were you gonna drink that? Points at Wes's cup.
I wasn't planning on it.
Great. He picks up the cup, and without skipping a beat, he kind of pours a tiny bit of the contents into his mouth.
Um,
Should I roll like a con or something?
Yes, please.
Yeah,
You just ate dirt.
This
You
is
dirt
not,
idiot.
this is not on the bingo board.
Well, he's making a bingo board. Well, of course you would get that, wouldn't you? God, this is par for the course for him.
I'm going insane.
I think he's just used to eating shit.
He really is.
So that was a 19 on the con save. So drinking enough of Lao's tea has just enabled Austin to be able to eat dirt and not blink.
I guess.
I honestly thought it was him falling off his scooter so many times.
Maybe.
The taste of dirt.
Regardless,
I get it now.
You hit this teacup like a shot and down like a bunch of dirt and don't even bat an eyelash. Wes is kind of staring at you like you have 2 heads right now because you just literally ate dirt. You literally just ate a bunch of dirt.
So like he tipped that that cup back, and when he has it back forward in front of him, you can just see him, like, you can even hear him like audibly chewing because you can't drink dirt unless it had water in it.
Oh my god. Just gonna do something really quick.
Do I roll a whiz save? I'm like, me, the player,
I'm rolling
is
a
like.
Okay.
But you didn't expect this.
Nope. This was not in my list of things that might happen today.
Man, the feels are gonna be real with this one. Literally us like 15
Eating
minutes
dirt.
in.
Fucking.
Eat dirt.
That's a 16.
That's a 16.
Okay.
Cool. You may both watch Lao kind of narrow his eyes at Austin, move his gaze over to his cup. You see one of his hands that like sort of crossed in his lap twitches a little towards the mug of the table, but otherwise there is no movement. This was to determine whether he would take this as a challenge.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
In 16, he does manage to not. Thank God. You are just sitting here. But Lao does look at Austin, and though he doesn't have an eyebrow, you get like this. You get the feeling he would be raising an eyebrow if he had any. And well, I'm sure that Soul is delighted that you enjoyed their particular brand of tea. Cue heavy
That was pretty
thumping.
good. Thank you, Soul.
Cue heavy thumping against the floor. And now continues. However, if you are making tea, I wouldn't mind anything in the cupboard.
All right. He takes a couple of steps towards the kitchen and then looks over at Lao's mug of dirt and goes, "You gonna have that?" Or...
Lao Blinks slowly, looks down, looks up. Help yourself.
Okay. He just goes and picks it up with a shrug, and takes it over to the kitchen. Uh, so now he's gonna go make some tea, like actual tea.
Oh, why did Wes always say?
Because everything he was willing to be like, okay, this is whack and not where I thought this was gonna go, and he was okay. Up until Austin asked whether or not Lao was gonna drink his cup of dirt. So he's experiencing like all of the human emotions right now.
Wes is having a time and he hasn't even started yet.
Yeah, I mean, he was having a time at the end of the last one. This is just making it worse, but in a different
This is a
direction.
different time. Yeah.
Different direction.
You can see as he makes his way to the kitchen, he tips this other mug back like a freaking shot.
God.
But once he gets there, he's gonna, put the mugs in the sink, fill with water a little. He's gonna actually get some other cups out to make tea.
Yay!
Hooray!
Hooray! TG. I think whilst Austin is doing that, Lao is just going to stare at Wes.
Wes is very distinctly looking at the ground. You do.
Oh, sounds familiar.
You don't have to roll insight. He is, still distressed because he's aware that he is about to tell a story that he really doesn't like. But also, how do you react to having a person who yelled at you the first time he met you show up, drink 2 whole cups of dirt, and not even fucking bat an eye about it? How do you react to that? So,
are you intimidated?
Wes is.
Or are you entertained?
Wes is just fucking sitting here, like.
We love him.
He was trying to like mentally, but before Austin showed up, he was trying to like mentally prepare himself to have to go through this, and now like that is gone. Whatever mental wall he put up to be able to pull this off is gone now. Austin just drank 2 cups of dirt, like it's gone.
Poor baby.
Oopsies.
Oopsie poopsie. If that is the case, Wes, if you're looking at the floor, you are definitely gonna see a large green thing come up in your line of sight.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of crawl over.
Mm-hmm.
And you're gonna see Soul still on the floor, having crawled from their space, slowly start to like lean against your legs, and just like give you a bit of a pressure on like your knees and your legs, and they're just looking up at you.
Okay, I think Wes will give like a very gentle pat, but won't really stop. Like he'll still be looking at the floor and won't really speak.
That's fair. That is very fair. I will say Soul will also kind of flop one of their leafy wings in your lap. Flap it about a bit.
Mm-hmm.
If Wes does decide to touch it, it will feel very, very soft. Because Soul's wings typically tend to be lamb's ear wings, or lamb's ear leaves. I don't know if either of you know what that plant is.
Nope.
No. I'm excited to learn.
It is very, very soft. There's a reason it's called lamb's ear, and it's because it has a super velvety texture. It's very soft and nice to touch.
Nice.
Also has to be kept away from other plants because it does like to grow out of control very easily. But yeah, I imagine Austin comes back in after making tea and just sees that Soul is now leaning against Wes's legs. Austin, you probably look at where Wes is sitting in the armchair, and you look over at where Lao is laying down across the whole sofa, and there's no other seating, really.
Yeah, whatever. He's gonna stand probably.
Oh my gosh.
Um, so he brings over. He probably scrounged up a tray in there somewhere because he's got 3 mugs. Um, yeah, he strolls back in. Sorry for the wait. And to let it steep a bit, you know.
Did you take the leaves out of mine?
Did you want them in there?
Please.
They're in there.
Slow, kind of sagging nod as he reaches one hand out for the mug. Big grabby hand.
He turns it around and holds it out to Lao with the handle facing him so you can grab it.
Lao does not grab it by the handle, he just straight up grabs it by the mug and pulls it towards him. He does not care.
He just nods. And then he walks over and picks up another mug. This one's yours. Holds it out to Wes.
Wes will take it with his free hand and just kind of nod in thanks.
All right. Looks like we all have our beverages. Everyone's nice and comfy, I think.
Lao hasn't said anything. He's still just looking down at his tea. Yeah, no, Lao's not going to say much.
I will say, since Lau's looking at his tea, it's really dark and it's probably burnt the way Lao likes it.
Yes. Good. I think he's probably just like his eyes are closed and his beak is hunched over and he's just like taking breaths.
I love doing that over a nice hot cup of tea. You just let the steam kind of hit you a little.
He's just having a bit of a zone out.
I think I have
Actually, I want to roll him.
Go ahead.
Oh boy. Okay. Can you get any lower? Okay. So that's a 9 on his whiz. He pulls himself. No, it's not a 9, it's a 12 on his whiz. So yeah, he just probably takes a couple of deep breaths and then opens his eyes slowly, looks over at Austin and then at Wes and takes a swig. So, I think that you have some answers to give us.
That would be one way of phrasing it. What do you two already know? Because it's kind of no use telling you stuff that you already know. And
Absolutely nothing. And he kind of looks at him with a pointed gaze, like, just get on with it.
Okay.
I will say though, if sorry to interrupt.
No, you're good.
I will say, if Wes has transferred from looking at the floor to looking at this tea, I will make a little note. The tea is not burnt.
Austin, professional tea brewer.
Well, that one is like, so that one's like regular tea, and then
The other two
Austin's
are
is like,
burnt?
well, Austin's is like in between regular and burnt, and then Lau's is like burnt to hell.
Can I make a suggestion? You know how like steam rises out of tea, like hot tea, right? What if because it was made by a toon, its smoke is coming out instead?
Yeah.
Laos?
Yeah. The other two have steam, but Lau has freaking smoke.
Laos tea is smoking, what the fuck?
Well, that's what he likes.
No, yeah, he does like it. I'm just glad he doesn't have any smoke alarms.
Oh my god. I'm
my
pretty
God.
sure I'm pretty sure that violates like
Yeah.
building code, but like okay.
Lao violates so many building codes.
I know. I know.
Lao violates so many rules all the time.
Hence
I'm
all the
very
fines
tired.
that he has.
Yeah. Anyway, points.
Yeah. Wes won't look up but oh, how far back would you like me to start?
Exhausting. And then
He's thinking.
processing.
Processing.
Processing. Slides his eyes back over to Wes. Well, typically the beginning is best place. I think the best thing to ask would be why why the lab?
What about it? My mic is not picking me up, which is so cool. Um, Wes asks, "What about it?"
Well, why? What was the purpose of it exactly? And how does Drew fit into it?
So, Dad had this idea of going to space using magic. Can't really test stuff like that without having a lab. They built one. And then they were doing tests to figure out how to make it work. Originally, Drew was going to be the pilot. And that plan was the same for a while.
Where are you gonna go with them?
Wes shakes his head. It was a solo mission.
Oh, of course it was. Because of course, robots are expendable, right?
Wes flinches at that and just that was before the magic took hold.
He goes from a pointed look to a puzzled one.
I mean, Drew wasn't always Drew. Um, Originally, they were just a machine. Um, it kind of happened overnight. They say tunes kind of appear out of nowhere sometimes. Well, if there's a willing vessel, I guess it works like that too.
Oh, oh my stars.
Lau cocks his head to the side. One of his curls twitches. What do you mean, willing vessel?
Well, I mean, if you have a soulless robot and a soul wants to inhabit it, there's nothing really there to stop that. Dad might be
Lao.
smart and know a lot about magic, but
You can't account for every variable.
exactly. Drew becoming, well, Drew was not. That wasn't something that was planned to happen.
Mm.
Originally, Drew was a machine. It was counted as an unmanned mission. That way nobody got hurt.
Lao. Well, in my experience, life is rarely planned to happen. But, I suppose. Continue.
Well, I mean, it depends on what else you want to know. You want me to go into my whole life story, or would you rather I just answer your questions? And Wes is looking up at the both of them with like a look on his face that's like, you want me to get to the point? Okay, help me get to the point. Like, I'm not gonna. You don't have to roll insight. He's very much like, I'm not gonna tell you shit that you don't care about. What do you want to know?
Lao is gonna look over at Austin again, tilt his head to the side.
All right, to save you a little bit of grief. So you're telling me, and he actually, he has his cane. He kind of pulls that out and leans on it a little. So you're telling me that Drew was specifically built to man this mission to space, wherever you were planning to send them. But then they gained sentience. Or sapience, I guess. And what?
That's the short version of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, we didn't plan for that, so the plan had to be changed, um, which meant that any models that we had to be changed. So they started reworking it, redesigning it, reinventing it, which meant, you know, researching the magic again. Um, Drew still wanted to do it even after, you know.
Well, I mean, it makes sense. After all, that's what they were built for. But
So they.
is it safe to say? Is it safe to say you guys were still going to do an unmanned mission, just as like a test run? Yeah.
That was something, yeah. We still had to consider what it would be like as a manned mission. We didn't. Let's just say the plans didn't quite get into the testing phases. We spent a lot of time researching how to make it possible. Because, in case you haven't realized, space is not exactly a place where it's easy to live.
Well, I mean, you didn't know that.
At that, Lao's face goes a little more puzzled. Are you trying to say that Inkwell is difficult for you to live in?
No, I'm saying that space is a hard place to live in.
Okay, that's my brain. That's me. Ignore me. I take a razor to the script. That didn't happen.
It's okay. It's Wes's point is that, like, yeah, there's no oxygen up there. Even though we're toons, we still kind of need that to, be
Okay.
alive.
No, I just misunderstood. Thanks. Please continue.
You're
Ignore
good.
me.
Yeah, that.
But you don't really know that, do you? Depends on how much research you've done. What was your goal? To just live out in space? To colonize a planet?
To
It
find
seems
other
pretty
planets.
aimless.
I mean, there's older books that have written about it. I mean, space is huge. The
Yeah, it
original
is.
plan was to send a successful, quote unquote, unmanned pilot to find a planet and find out how inhabitable it was and come back in one piece. That was,
Yeah, well, that is a pretty tall order.
yeah, and then we had to scrap 98% of it.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say 98%.
I mean, we kept the base concept of the rocket, but
Mm.
taking a rocket from being completely like not needing a rocket to be habitable and then needing it to be habitable
You
is
really
a
didn't have to, though. All you had to do was make a different kind of machine and then still do the unmanned mission. You could have just sent them later. Once you knew that an unmanned mission would be successful, then you can think about a manned one. No wonder you guys failed.
Wes doesn't say anything at that. He's still just kind of staring at the floor. He hasn't even tried his tea yet. He's just sitting there.
What writings do you speak of? This old stuff. How old are you? How old are you talking exactly?
Wes kind of shrugs. I mean, I don't know. I'm I'm a bard, not a historian.
Would anyone that worked with you know exactly?
Dad might, but I mean,
But
when you find them in an abandoned library, like it's kind of hard to date books. You just kind
well,
of
it depends on the publisher. I mean, if they had it professionally published, of course they'd have a copyright
Oh,
date, a written date. If
yeah.
it's handmade, though,
If the
that'll be
books were
different.
in good condition, maybe.
Uh,
that Austin, you I just want to check something actually because I've been looking through things Lao can do now. Where is this?
You look for it. I'm gonna just say in advance, yeah, Austin's being a little shit.
Boy,
Yeah, I
And I'm
noticed.
sorry.
I'm sitting here being like, I didn't like this was not.
I didn't ask for this.
I didn't ask for this.
Because apparently Austin's completely forgot about trying to patch things up and instead is like, you know what? I'm actually kind of pissed. And I'm like, damn.
That
the
part,
hell?
the being pissed off, that I expected. The doing this, not on the bingo board.
Yeah, me either. I'm like, I'm just letting him take the wheel, see what happens.
Jesus takes
Okay.
the wheel.
Austin,
Uh-huh.
you're gonna feel the distinct sensation of something that you can only describe as kind of smoky. Fill your head,
Oh.
and you're going to hear Lao's voice say,
Hell?
"Yes." You're gonna hear Lao's voice say, "We're getting off topic. You can talk to Drew's father at another point."
All right, my question is, what the fuck is this?
Well, Arcana, I guess.
Oh, God damn it. I want to know. I mean, Austin doesn't have to know. I mean, I'll roll it
Lao-
anyway.
After Teishus and the Lie, Lao leveled up, and he actually has the spell Sending.
Oh.
The
Yeah, I
sending
definitely knew it wasn't mending. I mean, mending. Wasn't
Mind
message.
link. Oh, mind
No,
link is a
of course it's not a
Kalashtar
mind
thing.
link.
That's a Kalashtar thing, isn't it?
It's a Kalashtar thing.
It's a flash tar thing. And
I
B,
do
Lao
too
would
many transcripts.
He has no
of
idea what the
Kalashtar's
fuck you're doing.
That's a 6.
Oh, well, he's
fair.
not focused on that. That's why.
Also, I will say, even if Lao did have mind link, there's no way he would want to do that with Austin unless the situation was dire.
Good.
Oh God. Okay.
So, okay,
Anyway.
but here's my question.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to know that this is sending or anything, but is he able to, send anything back or no?
Yes, Sending allows for an immediate message. It allows you to recognize the sender if it knows them, and you can answer. You can answer me back immediately, basically.
Cool. I'm thinking about what he was going to say.
Whilst you're thinking about what he is going to say, Lao is going to speak. Right. Instead of asking about the old books and such, or at least, yes, the old books, let me ask you a more poignant question. And he clenches a little tighter around his mug of tea and leans forward. Why exactly doesn't Drew remember you? Or anyone?
Do you want the long version or the short version?
I want as much detail as you can give me.
I can't believe that you'd ask us that. We're not here for any short version. If you're going to tell us, you're going to tell us everything.
Actually, that reminds me, I need to roll something.
Mm-hmm.
Lao actually, upon saying that, hearing Austin say that, reaches underneath his blanket, rummages, and pulls out a sort of small book-looking thing, and he opens it up to a blank page, and just kind of nods at Wes.
Before I get into this, what was that 2 for, Wick?
Oh, it was to actually decide whether or not he was going to answer Lao in his head. He doesn't.
Okay. So Wes goes back to looking at the ground and takes a deep breath and just. I'm under the assumption that you've been to the lab. You knew about it before I said anything.
Yes.
Can't imagine what you found there. I haven't been back there since we left.
Yeah, no shit.
Being a hidden lab means that we have secrets to keep. The whole going to space thing wasn't exactly something that we wanted to be, public information. If we fail, that's kind of backlash for any of us in a career. Not really me, I'm just, some kid, but oh, it's a secret lab for a reason. And we thought We thought we could trust any scientist that managed to convince us that they were worth working with. Not like that people aren't worth it, but it's more like, can we trust you to keep a giant rocket a secret? Um, Turns out, some people aren't as nice as the masks that they wear to make them look like that.
Ooh, let me roll something real quick there, buddy.
Cool, I'll wait.
You know what? Maybe I will too. Fuck it. It's gonna be
Why?
fun.
Why? Why are you rolling? Why are you rolling this high?
Uh-huh.
What are we rolling?
We're both rolling with saves. Isn't it obvious?
Well, I mean, dude wrote it.
Yeah, you got a 17. I also got a 9.
Jesus.
Yeah. I'm just getting started. Yeah.
It's gonna be fun.
What's
Um,
up? Go
I
ahead.
guess apart from a sharp inhale of breath, Lao gives no indication, no sort of response.
Austin.
Yeah. Well, that's what living in the real world is like, you know.
I have enough experience living in the real world, and he'll hold up the arm that's holding the cup of tea and roll up his jacket sleeve, and you can tell without having to roll perception that this arm is real kind and very much not Barber Hose like the rest of him. Um,
Austin just scoffs.
he rolls down his sleeve and just so we were infiltrated, and well, Drew didn't like that.
Of course they wouldn't.
Especially when the perpetrator, thief, whatever they were, tried to kill me. That really pissed them off.
Yeah, I can see that.
um, Wes kind of swallows and just their eyes went red, and he kind of stops for a minute and just like tenses up. You can roll insight if you want.
Okay. Me already trying to connect the dots.
Oh my god, why are you like this?
Why are we here? Just to suffer?
No, I mean, he has 4 levels of exhaustion and he's rolling high. I got a 19 and then a 13, and that's without modifier.
He's determined.
He's disgusting. Why are you like this?
Disgusting.
He's
Oh, you want to
he's
see
no Zuni or
disgusting?
Rata, but you know.
Oh god. Yeah, you're fucking +7. So that's a dirty 20 and a 26. So like
Jesus.
yeah.
Allow Austin both having +7 in insight.
Yeah. So it is, very obvious that Wes does not want to say what happened out loud, primarily because it's traumatizing.
Although
Yay! It was something that, when you gain trauma, it's not really something you want to talk about.
yeah. All right, hold on. I'm gonna roll to see if Austin's gonna be a dick.
Oh
Yeah,
boy.
woo, he is. Hooray. We
Yay.
love it here.
Oh.
He is. So what? They killed him?
You you I won't make you roll perception. Not with your both of your disgusting insight rolls. Um Wes is, like when someone gets scared, their eyes sort of like shrink.
Yeah.
That happens.
Oh, yikes.
Austin,
Uh
you hear? Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
it not not quite, but they came close.
Okay, Austin, you hear in your head, well fucking done. That's what
Oh,
Austin gets in
really?
his
You're
head.
one to judge? He says that out loud. He says that directly at Lao. What the fuck are you trying to do?
Lao squints and glares. I'm trying to figure out what happened to Drew.
Yeah? Well, it's like
You-
pulling teeth trying to get this guy to talk.
Yes. And guess who's doing the pulling? How about you take a little seat? Maybe shut up for a little while. And
Maybe if there was a seat. And also, you're one to talk.
let me. Oh wait, I don't think I have to roll for this. Sorry, give me a hot second.
The girls are fighting.
The girls are fighting. This was not on the bingo board.
I don't even know where you got that bingo board. We're rewriting it.
Look, I came into this having like expectations. I expected to get like yelled at. I expected Wes to get yelled at. This is not. This was not
Okay.
on the list.
Could Austin roll me a whiz save?
Oh God!
Yay! Hooray!
If I had a nickel for every fucking time.
I'm here.jpg right now because that, my friends, is an A.
Yay!
Cool. Hey, Austin, you are
Yeah.
immediately filled with the need to shut up and sit down as soon as you can. Because
Oh,
that was
wait.
just my suggestion on you.
I thought so.
What a little
Hold on.
shit.
I'm checking something. Give me a hot second.
The
Wes-
girls fighting.
Wes is now like looking up in like. I mean, you won't notice because you're arguing with each other. Like he has like his eyes are kind of watery, but he's also like watching this go down. Like, what's going on? What's
Hey.
happening here?
What
They
the
stopped
fuck is
yelling at
going
me and are now
on?
yelling at each other. What's happening?
Oh,
Um,
jeez.
you
I'm gonna roll that again though, if you
okay?
don't mind. I'm gonna use
Yeah.
counter charm to
Oh,
give myself some advantage on that.
I'm going insane.
whilst you do that,
Holy
the
shit!
rest-
He's not having it.
okay, fair enough. Whilst Wes is having a bit of a teary-eyed meltdown, you will feel the pressure against your legs increase, and you feel that soft something kind of flutter next to your hands.
I love that Soul is being a therapy dog.
Listen, this is not the first upset person they've had to calm down.
I think while the other two are, fighting, Wes will just set his cup down on the ground for Soul to drink. They can have the sippies. Wes appreciates having tea to deal with this, but also this is like he is so not thirsty right now and just wants to get through this without someone getting stabbed.
Huh. Okay. So you set your drink down, and you do see Soul kind of turn towards it and reach out one of their routine mitts towards it with a wiggle, and then they stop, and then they withdraw the roots, tuck them under their body, place their head onto the armchair of the sofa, and their very soft wing on your lap. And give me a moment. I'm gonna see. So, buddy, what you thinking, my boo? What you thinking? What's going on in that empty head of yours? I thought they had a spell, but I don't think they actually do. They don't have the spell I thought they did. Never mind. They're just gonna cuddle you.
No.
Okay. Are Austin and Lao done arguing?
I feel like such an intense silence. Should we roll competing intimidations?
You know, why not? What's your intimidation? Oh, okay.
Which bitch is more bitch?
Yeah, which bitch is more bitch? We're gonna find out.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh.
For the audience, I am literally just sitting here.
I'm so
It's
sorry.
both of us, like, head in hands.
Look, I'm sorry. You put Austin and Lau in the same room with heated emotions.
Like, what you think was gonna happen?
I should have learned my lesson last time.
I don't know if you can get lower than this.
Oh.
So that's a 6.
I think it's like we both got really angry and then we went, you know.
And that's a 9. You both got so pissed off and then at the same time realized, like, wow, this is kind of stupid.
This is
to get
stupid.
Pissed off of. So gave
I
up.
was just too fucking tired to maintain his anger for long.
Yeah, and I think upon Austin seeing Lau tired and Wes teary-eyed and Soul trying to comfort, Austin's like, damn, I really am the asshole here. All right, let me
Am
not
I
do
the
this.
asshole Reddit?
Yeah, but yes.
Gosh. Okay. After that little stare down, Lau will turn his head back towards Wes and seeing the teary eyes, take a deep breath. Wes, if this is something that's difficult for you to say out loud, I may have another approach, but I would need your permission to do so.
Upon Lao turning his attention back towards him, he looks at the floor again. He really doesn't like it's kind of out of fear, but it's also out of like, wow, these people have done nothing but yell at me. I don't really want to look at them. So he looks back down at the ground and is just I mean, it's hard to talk about because, like, I mean, I don't know if you guys have siblings, but it's not exactly, it's kind of traumatizing to see your sibling beat someone within an inch of their life.
Just don't mind me.
Sincere. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
That's a 15.
Fine.
He's fine.
He's fine. He's fine. One of his curls twitches, but he's fine. Lau will slowly nod. I don't have any siblings myself, but I understand how disturbing it can be to suddenly witness someone you know turn violent. Especially if they haven't shown signs of it before.
It wasn't like it was like. Sink, shut up. I'm trying to do shit over here. My sink is ruining the moment. Um,
The sink wants to be part of the moment. The kitchen
I'm
sink wants
never
to be
looking at
involved.
OBS whenever it does that, so I don't know if it picks up, and I just seem like I'm crazy. That like every single time I'm trying to do something, the sink makes demon noises, and I'm like, I'm trying to like act like I'm crying here. Can we not? But anyway, it wasn't like it was like a malfunction or whatever. That was, I don't know if you've ever seen Drew get violent. Drew's very protective of the ones they care about. Always has been. Probably always will be. When the intruder tried to kill me, well, that pissed them off really good. So. And he just kind of shrugs. I've never seen them get so mad. I've seen them frustrated. Anyone would be frustrated having to do that much math. But this was something different.
Well, in times of great stress, especially if it concerns people you care about, Drew isn't a robot to malfunction. They're, as you
They're
said,
a person.
Exactly. What they did wasn't a malfunction. What they did, what you claim they did, well, I can't really say I wouldn't have done the same thing. It would have been either of my mother's or someone else that I was fond of. But I do still understand that it can be an unpleasant experience to watch someone you love, what's the term? Flip a switch? I think that's the term.
Wes kind of swallows again and just, we're getting away from your question though.
Quite.
After that, well, I mean, if one got in, who knows how many others got in or could get in. Everyone kind of made the decision to scrap and burn years of research in an attempt to make sure that this wouldn't happen. Because again, it's a secret lab, you know. If a rocket explodes, people are going to ask questions. So we kind of didn't want someone else getting the same idea we had. I don't really get all that part, but the point is that we did it partially to hide everything and partially so that way no one would get hurt trying to do the stupid shit we were doing. I mean, it's not stupid, but
It isn't stupid.
the problem comes in when your sibling has a supercomputer for a brain. We weren't sure what to do about it. Every time.
Sorry, I'm just connecting a dot. And I'm going to roll an intelligence and see if Lao's connecting a dot.
Okay, I'll wait.
God damn it, you stupid smartass.
I don't know if that means you rolled well or you didn't.
Well, because he's exhausted. I have to roll disadvantage at the minute. That is only a 12. He got an 8 and then a 16. Shakes him.
You know, I'm doing it too. Wait, is it just intelligence?
Oh, it's an 11. I'm doing just an intelligence check, yeah.
Well, I think my guy is connected to dots.
Oh, right.
Because I did an int check too.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
What dots are we connecting?
Well, I mean, it's pretty, to me, it's pretty easy to see why Drew doesn't know anything anymore.
Yeah.
Lao, I'm gonna blame his exhaustion. Lao is trying to like he can kind of nibble a taste of an idea there, but he's just too fucking shattered to put to connect the dots.
Yeah. But Wes will continue. Drew's actually the one that came up with the idea of, messing.
Oh, fucking course they did.
Yeah. And I mean, we tried to talk them out of it. We tried to come up with solutions.
Oh, you stupid son of a bitch.
Wait, hang on. I might be a little bit lost in my tea at the moment. He takes another sip. What exactly? He kind of looks between Wes and Austin.
It's obvious.
Wes is gonna look up at Lao and just, the reason Drew doesn't remember anything is because their memories were removed to protect them and to protect us. You can't tell somebody about a secret rocket if you don't know anything about it.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah, I'm rolling a with save too. Oh no. Uh-oh. Yeah, that's what I thought.
I personally don't give a fuck about this with save. You do see that Lao's outline, which had gone a bit smudged when you talked about burning like old knowledge and books and stuff, suddenly starts to solidify and get spikier. It looks like he's grown barbs all along his outline. And he just kind of looks Wes dead in the eye and says, Wes?
Yeah.
Tell me that there's a backup copy of Drew's memories.
Of course there isn't a backup copy. You heard what they said. They wanted everything gone.
So you and your cohorts, you and your father, you and those researchers, to save the skin off your own back, decided to erase a lifetime from someone you call family.
Are you
No.
even
And as
listening to me? Is anyone listening to me?
No, I get it now. It was all their decision. Because only stupid, selfless Drew would. And you can see he's actually he's got real teary there. They would do that kind of thing. I didn't.
Oh, I wouldn't argue against that at all, Austin. I'm very, very well aware of how hard Drew works and how much effort they put into things and how much they care about people that they care about. What I don't quite understand is why the people that care about them have decided it would be better, and no misunderstandings, I know that Drew chose this for themselves. I know this was discussed. We take your word for it. and that Drew agreed, in fact insisted. However, I cannot abide with not even attempting to save just a little bit of someone you call a sibling. I cannot.
Because that would be betraying their trust, even if they never knew. Because they cared about them. You know? You want to be honest with the people that you care about. That's, well, you try to. So, of course, you wouldn't go behind their back and try to save a piece of them. And he's looking directly at Wes, even though you probably really wanted to. I mean, why else would you be following them around for God knows how long? Even when they've forgotten everything, you still wanted to be there for them. I'm so sorry.
He kind of nods, and he is starting to cry, like ever so slightly, and that's why we left too, because, well, why stay in an abandoned lab if you're not going to do anything with it? We didn't want to stay, and we didn't want to stay in case the whole memory removal didn't work and they found out that we stayed, They might not be very happy about that. We just didn't quite expect them them staying all that time was not something we expected. We kind of just expected them to, leave as soon as they woke up. But
That was your mistake, though. You should have at least left something, anything for them. You don't know whether or not they retained the Sapiens after the memory wipe. For someone who says that you did a lot of planning for something as important as that mission to you, you really dropped the ball.
I mean, somebody tried to kill me. We weren't exactly sure how much time we had. I get it. We're clowns. We're a circus. We didn't do the right thing. I get it.
What a fucking mockery.
Thanks.
Clown and the circus are funny. Clowns are supposed to be funny and cheery. A circus is supposed to be entertaining. You and your fucking scientist cohorts are a mockery. And you can see that his grip on his mug is very tight. And if you were to look closely at it, there are black smudges along the sides of the brown clay. And his spikes are growing just a little bit, spikier.
You can think whatever you want of me and Dad and anyone else who ever worked in that lab and helped build Drew and helped build the lab. You can think whatever you want. I really don't care. I don't know you. You know my whole life story now, or at least part of it. So, you can think whatever you want of me. As long as Drew's happy knowing you, I don't really give a shit what you think about me. Because I'm never going to get that back. I don't know. They don't even know who I am.
Well,
I know everything about them from before we wiped their memories. They don't even know my name.
They might not know your name, but they They still feel you, you know. You know, you don't know what's happened with them.
No,
They've
I
had
don't.
nightmares, you know, about what happened. Do you know how much they regret that?
I'm not. I can't talk to them. How would I know? Sure, I can spy on them like some kind of creep, but that doesn't mean that I know what happens in their personal life.
Yeah? Well, I do. And just as much as you've told us what's in the past, maybe we should tell you what's happened in the present. Because we figured it out. You know, we did go to the lab, Drew included. They kind of know. They they don't know certain specifics, but they get it now, and it so eats away at them. And you know, he actually goes over and kind of like kneels down a little bit because Wes is sitting.
Wes is sitting and also short. And also being crushed by Soul.
Yes.
You know, you're not blameless, but it also really wasn't your choice and it wasn't totally your fault. So I'm sorry.
Wes doesn't look at you. Um, but he does kind of like shrug. He won't say anything, but you do kind of get the feeling that like he hears you and hears what you're saying, but doesn't quite, you know, believe it. I mean, Lao just bit his head off for all of this, so um,
Now your father, on the other hand. That's going to be a different story. But, you know, actually, no, that's not a different story. Now that we kind of know what has happened, I want you to take me to him.
Us.
to my dad. And Wes
Yes,
kind of gives you like a like not a suspicious look, but like a bro, are you serious right now?
like, are you sure about that? Yes. You're going to take us to see your dad. Do you want to know why?
Oh, I'd love to be enlightened by the people that have yelled at me.
Maybe that needs to be changed first. I know that that we have berated you, and I realize now that that wasn't exactly called for. Because if anyone should be berated, it's your father. I mean, no doubt, probably, that he's just as heartbroken as you are. But the difference is, you weren't exactly in control. He was, you know, the whole situation. So,
I can't tell you the number of nights that he and Drew. Well, I could, but it's an exaggeration that the two of them, the hours the two of them spent not arguing's a strong word, loudly discussing what was supposed to happen now? I can't count the hours. When you put two stubborn, bullheaded geniuses in a room together who have two completely different viewpoints, I would love to see you try to talk them out of it. I would love to see you try that. I would pay for it. But
Oh, that's not gonna happen. Well, not just me and Lao. You're coming with us.
he just kind of shrugs again. He's still not looking at you. He stopped crying, but his eyes are still kind of, really watery. I hope you all got the answers you wanted.
Yes and no.
He shrugs again.
He's gonna roll hammer space.
Okay.
All right, that's a 7. He takes off his hat, and I mean, yeah, Wes probably doesn't see that, but for the audience, yeah, his roots are still coming in. So even though he's got mostly an orange mop of hair, you see some green there. He pulls out of his hat a blanket, and without any words, he just kind of drapes it around Wes.
He doesn't move or like make a motion or anything. I won't make you roll insight. He's kind of like shut down.
Lao hasn't really said anything during this. This point, he is slightly less spiked than before, but he is just watching.
We took like a small break because I started to die, but it's okay.
We're all okay.
We paused the recording, so there should be no space. So it's like I never left. It's fine.
Hooray! Editing magic.
So Wes is sat there with the blanket around him, sort of shut down. Austin's kneeling in front of him, and Lao is still on the couch because he has 4 levels of exhaustion, and we're all just kind of sitting here in a tense silence that you could probably cut with a knife.
And Austin just kind of takes a deep breath. Okay. Let's clear the air a little bit here. We're going to put all of our misgivings aside. What can what can we do to help you right now? Because this is a lot, and I get when things become a lot. So
Wes kind of wipes his eyes with his free hand and just it, get it, but it's fine. I just, there's a reason I only wanted to tell that story once. So
Yeah, I get that now. And no, it's not fine. I gotta at least get you a little, yeah, get you kind of firmly on the ground here. I know this seems like a total 180, but now that you explained the situation, I've realized I've been a real son of a bitch. So I don't want to. I want to make amends.
it's not like I don't get it. I mean, I'd probably be the same if I was in your shoes and some stupid kid showed up and claimed to know everything about Drew and then didn't tell you anything. I get it.
Because it's hard on you. See, I wasn't
What
seeing
did
it
he
from
say?
your shoes.
Ah,
And no, he says that he gets it.
ah.
But see, I wasn't seeing it from your shoes. But now I have. Now that we have the full picture, more or less. So,
I get being pissed at my dad too. Trust me. Again, if I
oh
could,
yeah, no, I'm still pretty angry. He
Yeah,
says that with a smile.
if I could, I don't want you to be angry anymore, and I don't want this to stay a mystery anymore. This wasn't. Yes, Dad was in charge. Dad made the decisions. Blah 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 blah. It's part of being an adult here, adult, and also old as dirt. But
He
again,
can't help but giggle a little.
but when you're arguing with someone who has a supercomputer for a brain, it's kind of like talking to a wall. Don't know if you've realized Drew can be stubborn as fuck when they've made up their mind and they're sure that they're right.
Very much so. That hasn't changed.
I get being pissed off at my dad, but when I say that he spent hours trying to get Drew to change their mind, it was like talking to a brick wall. Like two brick walls using mind telepathy or whatever.
I'm just still trying to understand it. You know?
What part?
Because your father designed Drew and built them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe because you were pressed for time or whatnot. But I mean, if they had hours to debate over whether or not it was a good idea, why weren't they able to go halfway? What I mean by that is, why couldn't you just take all of the space mission knowledge out, but keep the other stuff intact? I
Part
mean,
of it is how little time we had. Part of it is that, I mean, doing something like that would take a long time, especially because, like, I mean, Dad's the head of the lab. Well, was, and, like, a lot, like, Drew might have been the pilot of this stupid mission, but
It's not stupid.
we were involved in it pretty heavily. I am not a scientist, but like
You with their brother.
when your sibling studies stupid math problems all day long.
Listen, look at me.
Wes will look up.
It's not stupid. It was never stupid. It was your dream, wasn't it?
It was their dream.
But you were also part of it. So it was never stupid.
The point is that something like that would take a long time that we didn't really want to risk trying to have. We kind of wanted everyone to get out of the lab in case they kind of brought more people back to steal the ideas and stuff. So we kind of wanted to hurry it up and get out of there. So
I guess I get it. Begrudgingly, but I get it.
I mean, when you argue with a brick wall,
No, it's not about the arguing. It's about the time.
it's not like we
Because
didn't want to stay and just take what we didn't need and get rid of it, but when the lab
he gets up and he starts pacing a little. Because after all, it would take a considerable amount of time, but it's not even just the time. You need the equipment within the lab to actually do it. So it's not like you could have left and then tried to reconstruct the lab. And you can see now he has the gears turning, and he had been keeping this in, and now he's just like, he's in this weird logic loop.
How's our local bird brain doing? While Austin is looping himself in circles.
He's not giving me much, to be honest. He roll an insight if you want, Wes.
Sure. Give me a sec to figure out what Wes's insight modifier is, because it's not.
We've been rolling all this time. It's Wes's turn.
Yikes!
Oh my god.
Nat 1, baby.
It makes a lot of fucking sense though.
That's 6.
Yeah, Wes, you don't know what that look on his face is, but it's fucking scary.
Yeah.
Oh, should I roll?
It's up to you.
You disgusting little 7.
Oh, yeah, and it's gonna be even more disgusting. So you rolled an 18.
25. 25.
Okay. You are stuck in a bit of a logic loop, but as you're kind of pacing backwards and forwards, past the tree stump that makes up the table, you do see that Lao, whilst not as spiky as before, and like the spikes are slowly drooping down, but he seems to kind of, he hasn't really moved from that position since sorry, give me a second, brain please.
Shakes my brain.
He hasn't moved from that position since Wes talked about raising Drew's memories.
Austin kind of shakes his head. Like when it kind of does like the little smear frame really quick, like, ugh. Trying to get out of that loop. All right. No. Look. Now that we have most of the context, I think it's time to kind of process it. And he looks to Lao carefully, but then looks back to Wes. I think we all need a moment to just internalize it and catalog it, because that was a lot. So, I don't know. I'm open to suggestions. What are we gonna do now? I mean, I'm not gonna have you take us to your dad right now. That'd be a very dickish move.
When I meet your father, I want to be certain that I'm in the best condition I can possibly be.
Austin just kind of gives him a look.
Still just looking at his mug of tea. There is no more smoke coming out of it. It's probably cold by now.
Out of character, like, Wes internally is like, you're gonna try to beat the shit out of my dad, aren't you?
That's why Austin's giving a look like he's gonna say something.
This bird is gonna try to beat my dad with a stick, isn't he? But you do not see that, and rolling insight wouldn't get you that. That's internal thoughts that Wes has, but just, I mean, he doesn't say anything, but me and the player's like, yeah.
You know, I agree. You must be in the best condition. We all must, in order to have a clear and level-headed conversation with absolutely no fisticuffs to be had. Are we all clear?
Wes will give like a very small nod. Wes internally, I'm not gonna fight my dad, and I could probably not take one of you in a fight, so I'm not gonna try it.
Osmond still looks at Lao.
Lao still doesn't move. We'll take that into consideration.
That's a start. All right. So, you guys hungry? I think I still have some cookies. And he's gonna reach in his hammer's face. He's just trying to diffuse the tension, calm things down.
Fashion disaster so much.
He pulls out like a tin of cookies from his hat.
If offered, Wes will take one and actually eat it this time, as opposed to the tea that he just sort of get the soul.
Yeah, kind of pops the tin open. Offers one to Wes. Also offers one to Soul, because he doesn't know if Soul eats cookies. They'll just, just in case.
Soul tilts their head to the side, lifts it up from where it's been resting on the armchair this whole time, reaches out one of their feet, picks the cookie, looks at the cookie, looks at the tea on the floor, probably cold. They just kind of push the cookie. How big is this cookie, by the way?
It's not, it's like maybe a medium sized. I mean, it's not like super big.
Good.
If you're thinking about dipping it in the tea, it's gonna fit in the mug.
Okay. Yeah, no, they just kind of very slowly dunk it in the mug and then let go and leave it in there, and they just kind of stare at it.
Austin just nods. What else are you gonna do?
I also rolled a hammer space, so while Austin is handing out cookies, you hear Lao Ramage beneath the hammer space, with one hand, while the other one is now actually writing with one of his fingers into this blank book. And you guys have only just realised he has been writing down stuff that you have been talking about. As
Well, we
as
do
you've
need
been
a
talking
record.
about- he has a written record. Yeah, he pulls out his other hand from his hammer space, and he has a bowl of lemons.
Oh God! Oh
Um,
no! Please, God, no!
Wait, a bowl of what?
Lemons.
lemons.
Yeah, lemon.
And he puts them on the table, takes one, just he just says, I don't like sweet things, and just takes a munch, rind and all. Yeah, nah, he's just gonna munch on his lemons while he writes down his notes and checks them all over.
Good thing Wes is like mentally shut off, because this would just like first Austin ate dirt and then all of that and now this like Wes is having a
There's
day.
only so much. There's only so much this kid can take.
And on top of that, he got yelled at before Austin got here.
Yeah. Yikes.
But I don't have anything else. Unless you guys have something else.
Austin is gonna pick up a lemon and throw it in his hammer space. Yeah, he'll have that later.
Oh my God.
Nice. It's lemon tea. Yum.
But with that, that is the end. We will see you guys in the next. I don't know what we're doing.
In the next episode.
In the next whatever thing you listen to from Draft House. But have a good time zone, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.